moment that trading and life got better for me in my rebuild phase is when I started to understand how to pray and how to properly speak to God the right way. And I think a lot of people just simply don't understand this. See, it never says in the Bible, it never says in anything that you must, beg and, hope there's a 50-50 chance that it shall be given to you. It actually says in the Bible, the mystery hid from the ages from us all is that Christ is in you, the hope of glory. I'm going to repeat it again. It actually says the mystery hid from the ages from you is that Christ is in you, the hope of all glory. I always say this: we are God's highest form of creation. You are God's highest form of creation. We are made in the mirror of Him. And a lot of people simply, always say to themselves that, God will give it to me when I'm ready. No, you cannot speak like that. One must believe that all that you have is already yours. It literally says in the Bible that your imagination and the power that worketh in us is your attention. Most people just focus on the most stupidest shit ever. And maybe you have every right in the book to think like this. And this is me coming from my rebuild phase. For those, if you guys just found my YouTube channel, I am in my rebuild phase. I am restarting my life. I was in multi-level marketing for nearly 5 years. I went full-time with it. I got screwed over in a business deal. 2024, I lost a girl that I was dating. I had a bad breakup. I was fat. I was overweight. I didn't really have what I desired. I lost a lot of money with my investments in many bad things that I did that I thought were going to yield me a good result. And I'm restarting my life. But I started to understand that, in Google Maps, whenever you put your destination and you pass your exit, it doesn't say you're on the wrong path. It doesn't say you're going the wrong way. It doesn't say, stop. It simply says rerouting your route. But you only get there based on, understanding imagination to be Him. And that is able to do all that you ask, and attention to be the power by which you create your world. A lot of people need to realize that, you're free to choose the concept of yourself, but it's simply from the way that you think. It's simply from the way that you pray. Again, it's not you, getting on your knees and affirming that which you don't desire to God to get you out of it. It's you praying. This is what really worked for me. And this is what I want to share with you guys, because I'm in the process of, getting out. Like, I could see the light within my dark tunnel that I was in. I lost it all, you guys. Watching this video, I literally lost it all. I don't think people understand. Starting from nothing. And I finally got my head above water. And the only reason why I got there is because I essentially started to understand the great mystery that's hidden from us all. Christ is in you, the hope of all glory. And that essentially means is that your I am, which is your God, He lives in you. And most people just need to, harp that in their head. The mystery is Christ in you, referred in the second quotation, is your imagination by which the world is molded. The hope of glory is your awareness of the ability to rise to higher levels. Where attention goes, energy flows. People don't realize that it's not really about working hard. Like, I swear to God, it's not about working hard. It's not about, I'm going to put in 55 more hours. No, it's not about that. It's about working, in your mind a lot smarter. You find Christ only when you become aware of the fact that your imagination is the only redemptive power to recreate and mold your prosperous future. Like, it literally says, when this is discovered, the towers will have heard the trumpets of the truth, and the walls of Jericho will crumble into dust. If you don't know what the walls of Jericho, go study that story. Because again, He is in you. This is how praying, this is how, properly conversing with God, this is how properly thinking has helped me. Because just like I have right here, most people view life wrong. When they're in a bad situation, they literally sit and bitch about things that can't be changed, things that have been set in stone for years. They simply accept their parameters and make the best possible move, even if defeat is all they currently see. That's literally what I did when I left MLM. I got fucked over in the deal. Investments were going south. My parameters weren't the best, and I had every reason, to bitch and complain and say, hey, you know what, this success thing is not for me. And at a point, I was considering even giving it all up and just going to school and being a regular person. But I made the best possible move, even if defeat was all that I currently saw. Why? Because subconsciously, even though I did not know, I knew that the mystery hid from the ages is that Christ is in me and he is in you, the hope of all glory. That him is able to do more than you can ask or think is your imagination. You got to think your way out. Earl Nightingale says the strangest secret is that people simply don't think. The power that worketh is us. The power that worketh in us is your attention, understanding, imagination to be him that is able to do all that you ask, and attention to be the power by which you create your world. You can build now your ideal world by imagining yourself to be your ideal dream and desire. Remain attentive to this imagined state as fast as you completely feel that you are already this ideal, it will manifest as a reality in your world. The mystery of Christ in you is referred to the world of imagination by which your world is modeled off of. Your imagination, which forms a substance into concepts, which concepts are manifested as conditions and circumstances and physical objects. Thus, imagination made your world. People don't realize that that's the great mystery. That is what's going to get you profitable. That is what's going to get you out of your struggle, because it's doing it for me. It got me back to above water. Like I said, I don't think a lot of people realize, like, I literally lost it all. Goose egg, zero. Like, I was at a freaking high, and I had to go back to get a job, and I had to rebuild everything, rebuild my savings, rebuild my portfolios, like literally from like nothing. But you know what, I understand the great mystery that's hidden from us all, which is Christ is in me as he is in you, the hope of glory, meaning your I am is God and he lives in you. You can do have whatever the hell you want, because it's not about the environment or the situation that you're in. It's about how you think in the environment that you're in that will dictate your success. And during my little, fuck up that I was in, I had every reason to be an idiot, every reason to say, fuck it, I'm going to give up. I got fucked over in a deal. I lost all my investment money. I broke up with the girl that I was dating. I was fat, shit was going south, and I literally felt like trash. But at the end of the day, this book, the Neville Collection, the Book of Modern Mastery, fell on my lap through an Instagram video. And I said, fuck it, I'm going to learn it. And I'm going to think my way to success. I'm going to imagine my way to success. I'm going to start understanding and mastering my I am, because whatever you say after I am, like, people think it's a fucking joke, but it's the realest thing in the world. And maybe you get lucky, maybe you pass your prop for, maybe you get a shit ton of payouts, or you do a bunch of shit and you're solid. I promise you, it's not going to be the longevity of it. It's not going to be massive. You need to master this. You need to understand how to pray. You need to understand the mystery that is hidden from us from ages, which is Christ is in you, the hope of glory. Your I am, which is your God. He lives in us all. I am successful. I am a profitable day trader. I am a millionaire. These are stuff that you should be uttering to yourself every single day. That is how I got myself out of my rut. You need to master your I am. And I know my channel is about trading, but it's all about subjective control. That's literally the foundation. Subjective control. Control your inner thoughts to control your outer results. And you only do this by understanding that in the Bible, it does not say, I'm going to go beg for a 50-50 chance that God will give it to me. No, it literally says in Colossians 1:26 The mystery hid from you from age for ages is that Christ is in you, the hope of glory. God is in you. And understand that you can change your world. You can alter your situation by simply focusing and giving attention to not what you are presently seeing in the physical, because the physical world's fake, in my opinion. It's essentially what you're seeing in your mentals, what you're thinking to yourself. And that's how I've gotten myself out of my rut. That's how I've got myself to pay off every single bill that I was behind in. Because when they were stacking up and I had no more money and I blew my accounts because I was trading because I needed capital, I said to myself, you know what? I'm gonna get myself out of it. And I mind fucked myself when I bought this book. I literally mind fucked myself. And that's what you need to do, because remember, the great mystery that's been hidden from us all is that Christ is in you, the hope of all glory. It's literally in the Bible. There's no denying it.